as you would without the tires on there. That electricity is going through that car into the earth. When we talk about electricity going to the ground is what we're standing on. A lot of people will think that's some wire somewhere, that's something. Electricity is just like the water cycle. We're moving electrons through wire at high pressure. It's trying to get back to where it started at the earth, and it's getting there any way it can. At the speed of light. It's traveling, these electrons are traveling at the speed of light. So if you get in that circuit or in that path, electricity is going through you, it's trying to get back into the earth itself, that's the ground. So Stan's going to demonstrate, he's got this little knob, and it won't hurt her. But what he's going to do is show you that as long as she's touching that car, she's all right. But when she touches the car and the ground, you're going to see a good arc. So Stan, when you're ready.
Coming hot. Coming hot. Coming hot.
All right, guys. If you're in any situation, you look at that and you're like, oh my goodness. If you see that arc, it is way too late to say, I shouldn't have touched that. Electricity, and I say this to every group, I do not dramatize anything here. If you're involved in an arc like that, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to die, which is most likely. Number two, if you live, you're going to lose a body part. Electricity will enter your skin and make a small hole, kind of like a bullet. When it comes out, somewhere it's going to make an exit wound, but everything on the inside is burned all the way, following your arteries. Most folks that live go to Vanderbilt Burn Center, and the next day they start removing stuff because they're cooked on the inside. We're going to talk about that just a little bit more in a minute. We'll demonstrate that with the hot dog. But we want to get this car demonstration done first. They're going to clear this wire up because it is 7,200 on the floor here, and we want to make sure that they don't get into any trouble. Am I right about that? There's a lot more wrecks that don't catch on fire than there are that do catch on fire. You don't see many burned cars in the salvage yard. But if your car was on fire, there's one safe way to get out of that car. And this is a last ditch effort, guys. You open the door if you can open it. You stand on the side of the car, tuck your elbows in together, and you put your hands together, and you jump away from that car. Because if you're holding onto that door and jump, you just become the path to ground for that electricity. You can jump. If you hit the ground and fall, just keep rolling away. Don't start taking big steps because you may have 14,400 volts in this foot and 10,000 volts in this foot is the further you get from the source. And that electricity is going to equalize across your body. So either bunny hop away, scoot your feet, roll, but don't take a big long step if you have to do that. Really, just don't forget that. Stay in the car. But I tell you guys that most of the time, if I'm asked that question, like the high school or something, I don't even tell them all that stuff. But I say, just stay in the car. You can use your cell phone and do it as long as you're in there. The next thing we're going to do is blow this fuse down here on the end. Have y'all ever maybe heard calls on the scanner? You may have made it yourself that says the transformer blew up in my backyard. Well, kind of like in your business, people don't really know sometimes. Transformers generally don't blow up. What happens is something gets on the top of that transformer that causes a short to ground, and we've got a fuse up there, and that fuse blows up. And it's made to do that. It protects our transformer from damage. It keeps everybody else's power on, and it's just built to do that. So what Stan's going to do, he's got a squirrel on his stick there, and he's going to pretend like that squirrel's on top of the transformer, and this happens all the time. And we're going to energize this line. He's going to short that out, and we're going to blow that fuse. I encourage you to put your fingers in your ears. It echoes in this building. A little knowledge is dangerous sometimes. Stan, if you will, open C. Don't leave here and think, that guy told me that if that barrel is down, that the power is off. Don't ever think that. Because this is a circuit breaker, and we have them out on the line everywhere. That switch is normally open on that breaker. We know that, most people don't know that. We use it as a bypass. If that breaker goes bad, we can come out there and close that switch and replace this breaker and keep the power on. So don't be riding down the road and say, oh yeah, that thing's hanging down, the power's off. When's it dead? When it's grounded. And somebody tells you it's dead and grounded, not before. Now, have y'all, I'll go ahead and explain this while I'm talking about the breaker. Have you ever been at home and your lights go off, come back on, go off, come back on? You know what's happening? All right, something's happened out there on that line. Let's say this is and this is an OCR, an old circuit recloser. Let's say something's happened down the line, and maybe it's a car wreck, maybe it's a squirrel. All this recloser knows is something's wrong down there. Too many amps are going through here. It opens, but you know what it's immediately going to do? It's called an instantaneous operation. It's going to open and close back. Now, why do we want it to do that? And it's built to do that. Why would we want it to do that?
So that when the squirrel's dead, the power comes back on.
All right, absolutely. A lot of times the squirrel will get on the transformer down there and it'll open that breaker, and in that time it's already fallen off on the ground, the power's back on, everybody's happy. No problem. But let's now change the scenario just a little bit and there's a wreck down the road. Or a tree limb, or trees falling out on the line that doesn't clear up. This breaker senses that fault, it opens, it closes. We're gonna give it 2 more chances. We're going to open back up again, it's going to close again. It's going to open up the 3rd time on a delay, and try again. If it goes out that time, it's going to lockout. Power's off, call us. You see all those operations. But guess what, guys and ladies? That happens right about 85 to 90% of the time. This is a mechanical device. It's a hydraulic device. It can have trash in the oil. Those breakers have been known to open, close, and sit there open for 30 minutes and close back.
Or just keep on cycling. I've seen that too.
Yeah. We had one breaker one time that I'm aware of that the handle would come down on it. They could bump it with a hot stick and it would close. It was just a malfunction. It was a mechanical piece of equipment. So again, that line, never consider it dead. And even if that breaker is locked out, there's a set of contacts that are about that far apart in there in mineral oil. Randy's gonna make the line hot for this cutout of this switch. And he's gonna bridge that gap with this limb and show you that the light bulbs, this is 2001 Highway 69, these represent houses, and 2002 Highway 69. And he's gonna show you that he can energize those 2 transformers on the other end of the line with the green limb. So when you're ready, Steve.
Light coming hot.
All right, so just kind of watch the light bulbs there for a minute. That limb is starting to get dried out a little, but you'll see them coming on. It takes a full 120 volts for those compact fluorescent bulbs to come on. That one's lighting up a little bit over there. This one's lighting up pretty good. So the danger is for us to have a tree touching the line, a kid go out there to get in a mimosa tree, and that current's coming down that tree. Same thing with wood. You guys have pipe poles on your truck. They are not tested pieces of equipment. Anybody have aluminum pipe pole? There's still some in Wayne County, I found out. Don't use those things. But even your fiberglass sticks, your pipe poles are not tested. These sticks that they're using are tested every year. Sometimes we would have one that looks like brand new and it's leaking on the inside, and we have to take it out of service to get rid of it. Those are insulated at 10,000 volts per inch. So just don't take a chance with those pipe poles. Next thing we're going to do is talk about how electricity can burn your skin. This is a pretty impressive demonstration to me, but what Stan's got is a hot dog slid part of the way down on that piece of copper. He's going to put one end on the neutral. And by the way, guys, that's a neutral, that's not a ground wire, that bottom wire on our line. We can take an amp meter out there on that neutral, and there'll be probably right here on this street 20 amps of current on that right now. A lot of folks will raise a dump bed up and say, oh, it's okay, it's just the bottom wire. If that dump has a better path to ground than that neutral, you're a dead person. And we consider that neutral energized, it's a potential. So Stan, when you're ready, let's show them what will happen to your skin if you make contact with the line.
Coming hot. Light coming hot.
That's cool. Smells like cook.
All right, you see what happens is he has to get pretty close to get that arc started, but once that arc starts, the air becomes ionized, and the air actually becomes a conductor at that point. Put his sunglasses on up there, smarter than you look. All right, I'm just messing. Balance that dude, get her straight. Think you're in the circus, you can walk from here to town with that thing. About 3 years ago, we had 2 prisoners at Clifton doing that. Raised a 40-foot aluminum ladder up into our line. Both of them lost hands and feet. They did survive, but it burned them up really bad. All right, Stan's going to show you what happened. If you weren't paying attention, you got your, or even a puff of wind, guys, anything can happen. It pushes your ladder into our line. When you're ready, Stan.
Make it hot. Coming hot. Coming hot.
All right, and again, once that arc starts, it's way.
Make it hot. Coming hot.
And he can sit there and keep that on there and literally set that hose on fire. So just because it's cloth, it's not a piece of metal, you think, well, that's probably not a conductor. A good dirty water hose is very much a conductor. So stand when you're ready.
Coming hot. Clear.
Oh, you center phase is up, center switch is open, I'm sorry. That's my bad, I wasn't watching my switch. Sorry about that, guys.
Coming hot. Coming hot.
All right, that's enough of that. We don't like to, I don't like to hear that noise, it kinda makes my skin crawl every time I, anybody.
I'm probably not gonna hook it up to the house, I'll probably jerk that meter out and put it a bolt, so you about half inch long.
7,200 volts, but guess what? So is the neighbor's transformer, because his neighbor's transformer's hooked to this line, his lights are gonna come on too. Not only did you get your power back on, you didn't open your main, you didn't provide an opening point. You got the neighbor's lights on now, and to do that, you had to endanger our line, and you could have killed somebody when you did. Very good chance. Could be one of y'all. Somebody could be out there moving a wire that was not grounded, and you cranked your generator, and you killed somebody that was trying to help. It can happen, guys. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna crank the generator, we're gonna get the voltmeter back out and show you the actual current on the line, or the voltage, and then we're gonna take the hot dog and show you, a lot of people that wanna do the math on this, says there's not enough amperage there, because that's just a 7,000 watt generator to hurt you. I think we can prove that theory wrong. We don't have any protection on this now, the arc won't be as big, but the only way that we can break it is if Stan breaks it with the hot stick. So Randy, if you will, crank the generator up.